Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on media reports that is indicating that the DA has got some skeletons in their closet and some dodgy dealings. Now, hear me out. I'm gutful about speaking on the DA. I wish that the DA could have a week or two where there's just no controversy and that I can also have some peace and, just focus squarely on the ANC, EFF and MK. But they are the second biggest political party in this country and I need to hold them accountable just like I will any other party, which you can clearly see I have done. MK, EFF, ANC, and now the DA, because they need to be held accountable when they are wrongdoing. Now, let me start off by saying that clearly this all started when John Steenhuisen went on the record with News 24 and spoke to Adrian Basson and then kind of fingered Tony Leon as this corrupt individual that is using his influence so close to the DA and letting his business benefit from that, which is Resolve Communications, a lobby group in essence. And John made the accusations that Tony Leon is very close to the MPs and the ministers and have constantly asked for meetings with them through his company. And ultimately, I think most of the country went, yeah, whatever. Like, this is just being bitter. Why did you not speak about this when you were the leader of the DA? Now suddenly you grew a moral backbone and now you want to talk about this. I don't think most people think that Tony Leon is corrupt. I don't think that most people think that he would tarnish his reputation that he's built over the last few decades. I think most people agree that Tony Leon is a reputable and respectable individual in South Africa. And that is what people walked away with. And then Exposé by the Daily Maverick came out, which kind of made a very, very concerning finding. Now, what is problematic, however, is the fact that Resolve Communications, which is Tony Leon's company, had a COO that resigned in May 2024 and literally a month later took up a position within the DA as a member of parliament. And for the last 2 years, that individual has been championing the same cause that individual was championing whilst they were with Resolve Communications. Now, that is a gray area. And I don't have enough information with regards to, whether or not there is wrongdoing, but there definitely are some things that need answering with regards to that. Now, whether that is Tony Leon, whether that is Resolve Communication, that is up in the air. But I'll show you what I'm talking about by just focusing on the headline and the summary. And then there is another article that came out today that, to me at least, makes it very clear that there is some wrongdoing that's happening within the Democratic Alliance. Now, before I show it to you, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free. It won't cost you anything. And while you're at it, just smash the like button and don't forget to share this video far and wide. It'll be greatly appreciated. All right, let's have a look. All right, so the Daily Maverick expose says the DA MP Tony Leon's lobbying firm and the SIM card law. Now, I'll post a link in the description below where you can go and read this, but I'm just going to give you the summary of this. And it says, Gabelo Obisa Ngaba was the COO of Tony Leon's Resolve Communications until she entered Parliament as a DA MP. Then she spent more than 6 months asking questions that helped build a campaigning case for 2 of its clients. Now, this is definitely something that needs investigating. I mean, initially, when John Steenhuisen came out and just made the claim that Tony Leon is benefiting because of his proximity to MPs and ministers, most people went, well, he was the former leader of the DA. Now, I'm still not saying that Tony Leon is, involved in any wrongdoing, but what I'm saying here is this is questionable. And I think that any reasonable person would look at this and go, something definitely does not sit well here, especially considering that this person was the COO of Resolve Communications and then literally resigned and 1 month later became a member of parliament for the Democratic Alliance. However, if you think that this is the gray area, well, let me clearly indicate to you something that is actually problematic. The DA received 43 million rand from online gambling tycoon. Now, if you think that the fact that they accepted funding from a gambling tycoon is the problematic thing, no. I mean, it could be problematic for some people, but that's not really the issue. And well done to Newsday for this very, very interesting article. The DA has received 43 million rand from online gambling billionaire Martin Moshal, and the party would not answer questions about the issue. The DA is becoming very much like the ANC in not answering questions, right? I mean, a great example of this is there was an expose that showed that Dean McPherson, after his trip to Brazil, in which he took his boyfriend with, also went to Spain and turned a private holiday into a taxpayer holiday that was a business holiday that was eventually funded by taxpayers because he, I don't know, didn't want to pay for his private holiday and wanted taxpayers to fund it. They still have not answered those questions, and it's now almost a month later. So to me, it's very obvious what's going on there. The fact that they are staying silent and not condemning it or saying that didn't happen, to me, that is proof that in actual fact, they are hiding this from taxpayers, and that is also very problematic. Anyway, it goes on to say that this funding was revealed in the IEC's Political Party Funding Disclosure Report, which are required by the Political Funding Act. They showed that Moshal was one of the largest political donors in South Africa despite living overseas. Over the last 5 years, he made 4 donations to the DA. This included 2 15 million rand donations, one of 8 million rand and one of 5 million rand. Yo, that's a lot of money, eh? The 2 largest donations of 15 million rand each, the maximum any person was allowed to donate to a political party at the time, were made in 2021 and 2022. Now here comes the interesting bit. This is noteworthy as the DA's Dean McPherson introduced and promoted a bill to legalize online gambling in South Africa in September 2022. The party argued that the government's long-standing prohibition on online gambling must end and that it should be allowed. The DA further said that the prohibition on online gambling was unfeasible and that it eroded the rule of law. It added that banning online gambling exposed citizens to criminal elements and stripped the country of billions of rands in potential tax revenue and jobs. And, of course, the potential of a donor becoming very, very wealthy when that law is passed. Right? Right? Anyway, the DA also advocated that online gambling licenses must be controlled by provincial authorities, not the centralized National Gambling Board. It is also noteworthy that Raging River Trading is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. The DA runs the Western Cape. I mean, come on. Come on, right? It's not just me that's seeing this, right? I mean, come on. Be honest. Look, even if you were a DA supporter or a DA voter, this is dodgy. This is ANC-esque dodgy. This is EFF Julius Malema dodgy. Anyway, Moshal is one of the largest economic beneficiaries behind Betway's global operations, including Betway South Africa. The issue of online gambling, particularly casino games, has become controversial and has caused headaches for authorities. And it just goes on and on to explain what the issue is here. I want to focus on this. The DA would not answer questions about online gambling. Online gambling is a controversial service which is widely seen as detrimental to South Africa's society. Over 85% of the country's total betting gross gambling revenue now comes from digital platforms, driving a surge in industry turnover to roughly 1.5 trillion rand. It causes many social problems, including gambling addiction, household financial strain, and the resulting pressure on social services. And it goes on, and I think we all kind of know what the issue is with online gambling. I just want to focus on what they had to say here. Given these social ills, Newsday asked the DA whether it favored an outright ban on online gambling in South Africa. It did not answer this question. The party would also not say whether it was in favor of a ban on online casino games in South Africa, as stipulated by the National Gambling Board. Suddenly, they don't look so squeaky clean, right? I mean, the media is only really starting to scratch the surface now, and they're already uncovering questionable things. Now, you know, whether it's questionable is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, if you are a DA loyalist watching this, you're not going to see anything wrong with it. Hopefully, maybe you just start questioning what's actually going on in the higher echelons of the Democratic Alliance. I'm not the one that wrote these articles. I'm just merely reporting on it. But what I can tell you is that where it started versus where it is now, there's really answers that need to be given by the higher ups in the DA, or at least explain what is going on here, because from the outside looking in, it is definitely not making a lot of sense. The fact that you get big donations and then in that same year a member of parliament is driving a narrative and a bill specifically for something that your biggest donor is exactly aligned with. Now, is that illegal? I don't know. Is it unethical? Hell yes. So, this is now, where's the gray area? Is it criminal? Is it just unethical? That is where it lies. And like I said, where it started off with, when John made the accusations about Tony Leon, baseless. When the Daily Maverick came out with the article about the COO, Resolve Communications, being parachuted into the DA as a member of parliament, that is questionable. And now this with the donor gifting large chunks of money to the political party, and then in that same year they are championing this bill that speaks directly to their donors' main interests. Is that unethical? Is that illegal? Well, it's not my place to make that call, but I will definitely look into it if I was somebody that supported the Democratic Alliance, and maybe reach out to your councillor or your MP or your MPL and ask them, what's going on here, because this is not looking good. And the more you look at the tactics used, I mean, when you look at ANC corruption, it's blatant. It's like they stole money from tenders, right? If you want to uncover it enough, you can get to it. Of course, the DA, if they had to do these dodgy dealings, would do it in a more sophisticated way. And this seems to be what is coming out. Now, do I think the DA is corrupt? No. I mean, I've worked with many people within the DA that I know for a fact are hardworking, God-fearing people. Do I think that the higher ups in the DA are the same as the people on ground level working? No, definitely not. They are there with an agenda. They are there for self-preservation and only for their own benefit. I truly believe that. And ultimately, the question will be, what is the media going to uncover in the future? Because if this is just them scratching the surface and they're already uncovering what looks to be a lot like ANC, EFF and MK-esque type of wheeling and dealing, then it's only a matter of time before the big secrets and the big skeletons start coming out. But let me know your thoughts. I'd actually like to know. And let me know whether you are a DA supporter or if you are a DA hater. And then let me know what your thoughts are on what I just spoke about. And don't forget to smash that like button and to share this video far and wide. Don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free. It won't cost you anything. However, if you'd like to contribute to this channel, you can do so by either clicking on the $ and choosing an amount, and that is a financial donation, or you can become a member to this channel by clicking the join button below, and that'll be greatly appreciated. And that's all I got to say, everybody. Till later. Cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say my massacre. My massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say my massacre. My massacre.